Maharashtra has become a battleground between the BJP and the Shiv Sena over the arrest of two independent lawmakers, Navneet and Ravi Rana. Now, this face-off started over reciting the Hanuman Chalisa right outside Matoshri, which is Uddhav Thackeray's residence, but turned into a full-blown drama and a political slugfest. What happened in Mumbai through the day? Take a look at this report. The political storm in Maharashtra over Hanuman Chalisa does not seem to be ending anytime soon. On Sunday, the Rana couple, who wanted to recite Hanuman Chalisa at the residence of Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, was sent to jail for 14 days by a Bandra court. The Uddhav government slapped sedition charge against the lawmaker couple, accusing them of taking on the state machinery. The Ranas accused the Uddhav government of trying to stall their Hanuman Chalisa chanting and framing them with fake charges.
हनुमान चालीसा मनासाठी जर खोटे गुन्हे दाखल करत असेल आमच्यावर हमारे ऊपर झूठे ऑफेंस दाखल किया मुख्यमंत्री ने हनुमान चालीसा का नाम लिया बजरंगबली का नाम लिया श्री राम
While the bail hearing for the Ranas has been deferred till 29th April, their lawyer called the case bogus.
इन्होंने जो हेट और डिसलाइक जो गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ जो चीफ मिनिस्टर है उनके खिलाफ इन्होंने जो ये किया गवर्नमेंट मशीनरी को जो चैलेंज किया है उसकी तहत से इसको 124 लगाया.
This entire case is a bogus case. They have a very strong feeling that they are standing on loose ground. They are standing on loose ground. They know there is a possibility of release on bail. Therefore, they are prepared for a second FIR.
The Ranas, who are independent lawmakers from Amravati, were taken for a medical checkup before being sent to prison. Back in their constituency, party workers performed a havan for this couple. The Bharatiya Janata Party has rallied behind the Ranas, calling Uddhav government's action a political vendetta.
मुझे तो लगता है कि महाराष्ट्र की सरकार एक महिला से इतनी डरी कि उनको लोग जमा करके उनके ऊपर हमला करने की नौबत आई. इससे शर्मनाक बात क्या हो सकती है?
The war of words escalated when BJP leaders Kirit Somaya and Mohit Kamboj alleged attacks by the Shiv Sena workers.
प्रवक्ता वो नेता की भाषा बोलता है, वो संजय राउत नहीं बोलते. उद्धव ठाकरे जो कहते वो बोलते हैं. तो मुख्यमंत्री ये कहता है हम 20 फुट का गड्ढा करेंगे और उसमें विरोधकों को गाड़ देंगे जिंदा. ये मुख्यमंत्री और उनकी माफिया सेना की भाषा है.
किरीट सोमया अगर ज्यादा बोलेगा तो उनके मुंह में मैं कागज डाल दूंगा.
The Ranas had drawn the ire of the Shiv Senics after taking on the Uddhav government over Hanuman Chalisa recital. A group of angry Shiv Senics tried to target the Rana household in Mumbai. The high-voltage Hanuman Chalisa fight getting shriller by the day. With Pankaj and Dev Kotak, Bureau Report, India Today. Kerala Minister Sivan Kutty and Delhi's Aam Aadmi Party MLA Atishi sparred over the visit of officials from Kerala to a Delhi government school, with Sivan Kutty saying that the state government did not send anyone to learn about Delhi's education model as it appeared from the post of Atishi on social media. But Atishi then reacted and said that it's important that the Kerala minister focuses on facts mentioned by the Delhi government. Here's a report on what happened between Delhi and Kerala ministers over the education model.
Yet another political altercation and a raging row over the so-called Delhi education model. It's Aam Aadmi Party versus the Kerala government, with the BJP jumping in to take pot shots.
केंद्र सरकार ने
A massive political row has erupted after Aam Aadmi Party MLA Atishi Marlena claimed that the government officials from Kerala visited Delhi schools to learn about AAP's education model. It was seen as yet another bid by Arvind Kejriwal government to showcase his Delhi model by claiming that Kerala, the most literate state of India, trying to emulate the model. But the Aam Aadmi Party claim fell flat really soon, with the Kerala Education Minister debunking the claims of the AAP MLA. Minister V. Shivankutty clarified that no officials were sent to Delhi by the Kerala government. Mocking Atishi, Shivankutty said that his state had in fact hosted several Delhi officials last month who visited to study the Kerala model. He even asked the Aam Aadmi Party government to clarify which officials it had welcomed.
പൊതുവിദ്യാഭ്യാസ വകുപ്പ് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഡെലിഗേഷനെ കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്ന് വിട്ടിട്ടില്ല എന്ന് മാത്രമേ വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ മന്ത്രി എന്നുള്ളതിൽ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളൂ. ഡൽഹിയിലെ വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ പ്രവർത്തനവും നയത്തോടൊന്നും ഒരു മതിപ്പോടും കേരള ഗവൺമെൻറ്റിന് ഇല്ല. നല്ല നിലയിൽ പോകുന്നു എന്ന് തന്നെയാണ് അഭിപ്രായം. അതിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ആഴത്തുള്ള പഠനമൊന്നും കേരള ഗവൺമെൻറ് നടത്തിയിട്ടില്ല.
The BJP jumped into the fray, mocking the Aam Aadmi Party, calling the claim trip as false as Kejriwal's Delhi education model. Facing an all-round flak, AAP MLA Atishi said that Kerala officials who visited the Delhi school included Victor T.I., Regional Secretary of CBSE School Management Body, and M. Dinesh Babu, Confederation of Kerala Sahoday Complexes and others.
हमने स्पष्ट तौर पे कहा है कि केरला की जो सीबीएसई स्कूल्स की मैनेजमेंट है उसके अधिकारी आए. तो मेरा केरला के शिक्षा मंत्री जी से आग्रह रहेगा कि ट्विटर पे जाने में इतनी जल्दी में ना रहें, कृपया करके फैक्ट्स चेक कर लें, फिर भी कोई बात कहें.
The controversy casting shadow of Aam Aadmi Party government's functioning comes ahead of a much publicized visit by Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, who is visiting Delhi schools on Monday. Bureau Report, India Today.
Almost 1 year after the Bengal post-election violence, the aftermath of the events continue to affect the BJP ground workers. They fled home fearing TMC members' assault 1 year ago. Today, 303 BJP workers who left home appear to not be able to return to their own home and are living in faraway houses on rent. Here's a report.
It has been almost a year since Mamata Banerjee stormed back to power in Bengal, and the state witnessed a spate of massive post-poll violence, with allegations of murder and rape of BJP workers and their families, who dared to take on the ruling Trinamool Congress. Hundreds of opposition workers had then fled their homes, many of who continued to be haunted by the post-poll violence and a reign of fear. As many as 303 BJP workers who fled the violence are still fearful of returning home. The reason for fear is an assault by the TMC cadres. Subhol, who is in hiding, still shudders reminiscing about the attacks.
जब चुनाव हो रहा है विधानसभा का, तो शाम को 5:30 बजे मेरा घर के सामने बॉम्बिंग हो रहा है. मतलब जो आपका खुद का घर है? हाँ, जो मेरा खुद का घर है. तो इसलिए हम उस दिन चला आया है, लेकिन इसलिए चला आया है कि कुछ महीने आगे मेरा नाम पे फॉल्स केस दे के मेरा जेल भेज दिया, इसलिए हम इधर चले आए.
The scar of the post-poll violence when TMC workers went on a rampage is still fresh for many. Fearing for their lives, a large number of BJP workers left their homes and fled to neighboring Assam. Former army clerical officer and a BJP leader Shantanu Sarkar of North 24 Parganas, Kakinada, was amongst the ones who fled this home.
वो घर इसलिए छोड़ा क्योंकि इन लोग जब रिजल्ट कंप्लीट निकले भी नहीं, इनके फॉर्म में रिजल्ट दिखाई दे रहा था, उसी टाइम इन्होंने 2-1 जगह इंसिडेंट करना शुरू कर दिया, जैसे मारना. परिस्थिति ऐसे हो रहा था. मैंने अंदेशा उसको करते हुए, हमने उसको भापते हुए, तो हम लोगों ने बोला अभी मूव करना, क्योंकि कानपुर में सबसे बड़ा टारगेट मैं ही था.
The BJP has now sought legal help for its workers, saying homes of 4,000 of its workers were ransacked.
So all those facts I have brought before the court, and I have prayed for a constitution of a 2-member committee, where one from the National Human Rights Commission and the other, whatever the court deems fit, should be made to find out the reality behind whatever affidavits I am placing before the Honourable Court.
The Calcutta High Court has constituted a 3-member committee to probe the charges.
The High Court has formed a 3-member committee to inquire how factuous these reports are, and these people need to be sent back. Now, we spoke to a few of them who claimed that they look forward to go back to their houses which they have left due to political fear a year back, and they are hopeful that someday sooner they will visit their houses and stay just like they used to before the results on 2nd of May 2021. With camera person Shamchandra Ghosh, this is Suryagni Roy for India Today.
India Today now brings you a special report from Ukraine's Kryvyi area, which is bordering Kherson, where a dedicated museum has been built in a hospital for the medics. Bullets by which they were wounded are on display as a tribute to their brave hearts. Now, the regional military head accused Russia of violating ceasefire in the area and also said that Russia has violated international humanitarian norms. Here's a ground report of how the Ukrainians are trying to remember their brave hearts.
We are at this exhibition in a hospital which is actually saluting the brave hearts, the military medics, and that's why you see that this is a dedication, the plus sign, the red plus sign for military medics who are dying in this war zone. And we are joined by the military head of this entire region, Alexander Vilkul. Sir, welcome on India Today. We are trying to get the pulse of what's happening on the ground. Last we spoke to you was about a week back. Please tell us, what is the situation now?
Идут позиционные бои. Благодаря мужеству наших вооруженных сил линия фронта уже находится не возле Кривого Рога, а в 40 километрах. Противник пытается контратаковать. Наши войска мужественно борются.
The frontline position, so there is fighting. Thanks to the heroism and efforts of our military, we've been able to push the Russians back. They are 40 kilometers to the south of the city, and they are being very brave fighting there on the front lines.
There was a humanitarian corridor that was agreed to. Why did it fail, and what was the aggression from the other side?
На правительственном уровне был согласован гуманитарный коридор, но когда наши машины скорой помощи и автобусы приехали к блокпосту оккупантов, их не пропустили. Более того, должна быть тишина, они должны были стрелять, и, пользуясь нашей колонной как щитом, русские начали обстреливать позиции наших войск. То есть они нарушают международное гуманитарное право.
The humanitarian corridor was agreed on the central authorities level, but the convoy was supposed to come pick people up, but they didn't allow the Russians stop the convoy at the checkpoint and didn't let them go further. And what is more, that it was agreed that there will be a ceasefire during this time, but the Russians, using the convoy as a shield, as a living shield, they started firing from their positions to the Ukrainian military, knowing that they cannot respond because there is a convoy at the checkpoint.
The weapons together actually remind that they face these weapons when they go to save a life, and sometimes a bullet on their head, and that's why you see this helmet has been put on display to remind them that, and they're often stuck with nothing but just a can of water that is on display. So weapons along with medical equipments and instruments on display to showcase the brave hearts of the military unit, the medics who are leaving no stone unturned, and this battle has been going on for the people of this Kryvyi region and the medics, not from now, not from the 24th of Feb, but ever since the war started in the Donbass region. And many of those frontline workers are again back in the front line this time round. So it is reminding the people of their heroism and giving them a tribute. With video journalist Parminder Sharma, this is Mosmi Singh in Kriveri for India Today.